Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide, reaching you live from Abuja from the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Ruth Aguele. Kaduna High Court, presided over by Justice Darius Kobo, has granted the leader of Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, and wife leave to travel to India for medical attention. Abdullahi Mohammed reports that the court also ruled that El-Zakzaky and his wife be accompanied by government agents to guarantee their return for the continuation of their trial.
Anxiety is exactly the word used by one of the national dailies yesterday to describe the situation in Kaduna some hours to the continuation of the trial of Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky taking place at the High Court here in Kaduna. And today, both parties, the prosecuting and the defense counsel, have had their day in court, and Honorable Justice Darius Kobo has been able to peruse all the documents containing their argument for or against the Sheikh going out of this country for treatment. And finally, the Justice Darius Kobo has granted leave to Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky to seek for medical attention abroad.
There were 8 different medical reports that showed clearly that the applicants are in dire need of urgent medical treatment abroad.
When
the court agreed with the applicants and granted the application as prayed.
The court said when he was effectively discharged by the hospital that he referred to Medenta Hospital in India. So as soon as he's discharged from the hospital, he returns to the country to continue his trial.
And with this judgment, it means that Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky will now prepare himself to go abroad for medical attention. And then once he is discharged from that hospital, he will be back again to the court where he will continue to face the substantive charges against him, which basically will come any moment from now because the actual trial has been suspended indefinitely. I will definitely keep you posted when that happens. In Kaduna, my name is Abdullahi Mohammed, NT News.
Thank you, Abdullahi. The presidency is reminding Nigerians that a ballot box remains the only constitutional means of changing government, with emphasis on the fact that the days of coup are over. This is in reaction to calls by a group, Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, for a planned revolution protest with the aim of bringing about a regime change. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, pointed out the difference between peaceful call to protest, which he said is the inalienable right of all citizens, and incitement for a revolution. Garba Shehu said in February this year, Nigeria held simultaneous presidential and parliamentary elections, which were won resoundingly by President Muhammadu Buhari and his All Progressives Congress Party, and attested to by a core of international election monitoring missions. The presidency therefore taxed those hiding behind everyday citizens to attain power through undemocratic, violent means to come clean and lead their march in person. Only then, the statement adds, may they begin to have the right to call themselves leaders before the people of Nigeria. In the meantime, the Department of State Services has confirmed that Omoyele Sowore, presidential candidate of African Action Congress in the February presidential election, said to be coordinating a planned nationwide protest, is in its custody. Spokesman of the service confirmed this to newsmen in Abuja. Francis Farm has a report.
Sowore and others featured in a viral video urging Nigerians to join a nationwide protest planning for Monday, the 5th of August. The Department of State Services, whose responsibility is to manage, curtail, content, and eliminate threats against national security, confirmed his arrest early Sunday morning, warning groups who may want to disrupt the peace of the country to have a rethink.
Shaware is with us so that we can do the needful. DSS will not idle by, stand by, and watch people, self-serving people take laws into their hands. We will do all that is within the law to discharge our responsibility.
The Nigeria police had earlier issued a statement warning the organizers and sympathizers of the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy group to desist from their planned protest, demonstration, and proposed revolution march. Similarly, leadership of the organized labor dissociated itself from such planned protests. DSS asked Nigerians to go about their lawful business without fear of intimidation or harassment by any group of persons. In Abuja, Frank Sisfom, NTA News.
In another development, the leadership of the African Action Congress has disassociated itself from the planned revolution tagged Days of Rage by the party's suspended former national chairman Omoyele Sowore. A statement from the party's acting national secretary Abayomi Francis says the planned action is not initiated, supported or sponsored by the party. It adds that the planned revolution is illegal and has nothing to do with the African Action Congress. The statement further reaffirms the party's support for the Nigerian state alongside its efforts to uphold the constitution and laws of the land and would not do anything to subvert the collective will of Nigerians, either to undermine its territorial integrity or its sovereignty. Now, apparently irked by the action of Omoyele Sowore calling for a violent protest to effect a regime change, reactions have been trailing over the action. Public affairs analyst Jide Ojo, who spoke in our studio this afternoon, wonders why such actions come from a person who participated in the last February presidential election.
There was an election in February and March 2019. The arrowhead of this revolution now protest was one of the contestants, one of the 91 presidential candidates. He lost. And you can't come through the back door to now be asking for regime change. I must clarify that the Constitution of Nigeria actually recognizes the right to dissent. You can dissent, you can have a protest, you can demonstrate your grievance, but not regime change, not violent protest. You understand? So that's the distinction. You can, the police in FCT even came out to say all protest is confined to the Unity Fountain. So you can go there, like in UK, we have what is called Speaker's Corner, where people can go and protest. And that, Abuja Unity Fountain has been provided for that purpose. So, but to say you want to have a regime change, you are calling for violent protest, no sane government will allow that to happen.
The analysts believe such actions are uncalled for in view of the security implications on the issue. Election administrators from the 15 member countries of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, are meeting in Abuja, deliberating on key issues on electoral reforms on subcontinental scale. Mia Ogidi was there.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. A gathering where the rhythm of election revolves. 15 West African countries united by a common cause that is better electoral process, and the 6th biennial meeting of the ECOWAS network of electoral commissions, ECONEC, is the platform. A sub-region with 320 million people, but large percentage of the disabled, youth and women are excluded in the electoral process. A concern for all here, and they are pushing for a situation where every segment of the society must have a choice and voice in the electoral process.
The legal framework for politics and elections in many places needs to be reviewed to enable greater participation and representation for women, youth, and persons with disabilities.
Now, looking at the recent experience of elections in Nigeria, I do see a lot of hope moving forward. On the positive side, we did see the passing of the Not Too Young to Run bill, allowing younger people to participate in the political processes. We did see the passing of bills also for people with disabilities.
A success story all identified with Nigeria. But democratization is a process and not a project, and equally not a task that must be done only by the executive arm of the government.
The parties in their management of affairs must acknowledge the fact that inclusivity is very, very important so that nobody is left behind.
Professor Mahmoud Yakubu is the president of the ECONEC, and the recommendation to reduce the cost of election administration on the sub-region is worked out.
As you know, ECOWAS is committed to establishing an election logistics depot located in Lungi in Sierra Leone, so that countries in the sub-region that are conducting elections need not spend previous resources to be buying ballot boxes once every 4 years.
7th of August 2019, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu will hand over to his successor as the president of the ECONEC after an election. Mie Ogede, NT News.
And now to Judiciary Council, in a petition of Hope Democratic Party has adopted their final addresses before the Presidential Election Petition Court sitting in Abuja. In this petition, the petitioners called that in a referendum conducted on February 16, 2019, that their candidate polled 50 million votes. Dele Atumbi reports.
The petitioners in this case are the Hope Democratic Party, HDP, and its candidate Ambrose Wuru. In this matter, President Muhammadu Buhari is the first respondent, while INEC is the second respondent, and APC serves as the third respondent. The petitioners argued that by virtue of the purported referendum conducted on 16 February 2019, their party polled 50 million votes. February 16, 2019 was the day that the Independent National Electoral Commission shifted the presidential election in line with the provisions of the Electoral Act. It is as a result of the alleged referendum that the petitioners are urging the court to declare the candidate of the party, Ambrose Wuru, as president. The petitioners, however, are not challenging the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari in the February 23 presidential election. Adopting the petitioners' final address, their counsel Chukwu Njoku urged the court to grant the petitioners' prayers. Counsel to President Muhammadu Buhari, Wole Olanipekun SAN, pleaded with the court to dismiss the petition as the petitioners failed in proving their case, as well as failure to reply on the point of law to the first respondent's final address. Ustaz Usman SAN, counsel to INEC, beseeched the Presidential Election Petition Court to dismiss the petition with substantial cost to serve as lessons to others who might want to bring such frivolous petition before the court. Akin Olujimi SAN, counsel to the APC, pleaded with the court to dismiss the petition for lacking in merit.
That the Honorable Court should grant the reliefs contained in our petition and return the first respondent as the duly elected president by virtue of the referendum conducted on 16th.
All the respondents asked that the petition be dismissed.
What grounds?
No, they say they should be declared as the president because there was a referendum on 16th February. There was never a referendum, and a referendum is not a way of electing a president in Nigeria. How they got their own, the tribunal will determine that later.
The five-man Presidential Election Petition Court, led by Justice Mohammed Garba, reserved judgment in the matter to a later date, which will be made known to the council in the matter. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Still on the judiciary, financial officers and the judiciary, no doubt, play a key role in ensuring accountability for the arm of government. To enhance their capacity to deliver, the National Judicial Council is training some judicial financial officers on the latest trends in accounting. Olabode Arewa reports.
Ibrahim Musa and Festus Chia are public servants working as financial officers with the FCT and the Anambra State Judicial Service Commissions. They are participating in this workshop on enhancing financial integrity. They believe that keeping tab on modern financial developments is essential for financial officers.
I believe it's a very rich and organized workshop to attend.
It will help us to be more efficient in our work.
By training the staff, the rank and file, and if they can key in, then the entire system will be better.
On our part, Administrator of the National Judicial Institute, Justice Roslyn Bozimo, is confident that ongoing reforms in the judiciary are yielding positive results.
Financial systems must be transparent to promote good governance. This is in line with the federal government's policy on the fight against corruption in all sectors.
The workshop will cover monitoring of judiciary budgets, cash flow projection, pension administration, preparing financial statements, and utilizing the Public Procurement Act. The NJI expects the participants to implement the lessons learned upon their return to their primary assignments. In Abuja, Olabodarewa, NTA News.
Let's go on a break now. Nationwide continues shortly. Stay with us.
Listen to the voice of terror.
Su bar bakin hanya su shigo daga ciki can ciki kuma in sun ga motocin sojoji suna son su shigo a kyale su shigo a kyale sai sun shigo sannan sai a dode ya zama sai dai a mutu.
To tambaya me kike da wannan to ne magana ga me kike za mu warga da Najeriya warga za wa rai lalle ba mu bukatar Najeriya sam wani abu muke bukata wanda za mu yi alfahari da shi dan ni zama za ka abin da mu ba albabin alfahari ne a wurin mu abin takeici ne dole ne Najeriya mutu.
Protocol and event management are special skills which can only be acquired through training and experience. NTA TV College JOS is organizing a special 2-week course on protocol, event management, and public relations to upgrade the capacities of practitioners. The course will equip participants with modern skills, techniques, and international best practices in protocol, event management, and public relations. Also, a special 4-week intensive course on non-linear editing techniques will run concurrently. The course will expose participants to modern techniques and technologies of non-linear editing. Take advantage of this course to hone your professional skills for premium packaging of your programs and reports. The venue for both courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA Television College, near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos, Plateau State. Date 19th to 30th August 2019 for the course on protocol, event management, and public relations. 19th August to 13th September 2019 for basic non-linear editing techniques. Course fee 100,000 naira only per participant. Accommodation inclusive. For more information, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College JOS, training you to be the best you want to be.
National security and community policing is the thrust of NTA Tuesday Live this week as experts profile best practices. The program every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. promises to be informative and incisive. Don't miss it.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices, corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded, and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide. NTA Nationwide, weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first. Get it fresh.
Thank you for staying tuned. Lagos State government to pull down structures along pipeline right-of-way. These and more report from our Lagos Network Center with Michael Olale. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Ruth, and welcome to Lagos. In a bid to end the menace of pipeline vandalism in Lagos, the state government has concluded plans to pull down illegal structures sited along pipelines within the Jegun community in Alimosho local government and other parts of the state. The state governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu made this known while briefing the media. Nusa Osula reports.
The governor noted that security reports showed that the structures have continued to aid vandals in the destruction of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation's pipeline within the state. He added that other strategies will be coming up, as well as partnership with other states in the southwest, especially to secure the waterways.
Government is coming to remove those structures, to destroy those facilities, and in their own interest, they should go ahead now and start removing them before we come, because we've mapped out all of the layouts, area layouts where these things are, and we're ready to also cooperate and work with the men of the Nigerian Civil Defense, who have the primary responsibility to do this, and of course the NNPC, who are the custodian of these very important national products.
The Lagos State Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Ali, noted that the meeting reviewed its achievements and mapped out strategies on issues relating to kidnapping, cultism, as well as lawlessness of motorists and Okada riders on the roads.
Within the period under review, we look at our achievements so far, issues relating to criminalities along the waterways, kidnapping, cultism, which has been ravaging the state of recent, and the number of arrests made so far.
Also present at the meeting were the heads of all security formations in the state. In Lagos, Nusa Osula, NTA News.
The drive towards improving professionalism in the armed forces, in mastery of military tactics and strategies at various peacekeeping operations, underscores the importance of 7 months training of officers of the Nigerian Army. This was disclosed at the graduation of the Nigerian Army College of Logistics in Lagos. Lynn Neneke has details.
Over time, the Nigerian Army has witnessed dramatic changes in the conduct of its various operations, from conventional to asymmetric warfare, which necessitated the development of competent logisticians to meet the present-day security trends.
We have professional programs that will upscale the standard of logistics calling of the military personnel that they make use of in their day-to-day administration of the military.
The 7 months extensive training, therefore, will equip participants with modern concepts and techniques in the field of logistics.
We need new strategies to sustain the successes gained against insurgents and invigorate our efforts in resolving the herders, farmers, conflicts, and other criminalities in Nigeria.
This was achieved by developing their understanding and application of modern strategic management concepts appropriate to defense logistics, improving their professional skills in the acquisition of military hardware.
The 24 participants were conferred with the award of Past Logistics Staff Course and Fellows of Logistics and Transport, an indication of successful completion of the Logistics Staff Course 16-2019. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos Nationwide continues with Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you, Michael, and welcome back to Abuja. The President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, has departed Abuja for Saudi Arabia to join millions of Muslim faithful around the world who are gathered in the Holy Land for 2019 Hajj. A statement by the Special Advisor on Medium Publicity to the President of the Senate, Ola Awoni, said Lawan, while in the Holy Land, will seize the opportunity to pray for the peace, unity and progress of Nigeria. He will also pray for the success of the 9th National Assembly that is now on annual recess as they engage themselves in legislative activities for the advancement of the country. The President of the Senate is expected back home as soon as the Hajj rites are over. And Rivers State government is to commence the implementation of the law against street trading, illegal markets and motor parks in the next 2 weeks. Ogedi Inyekwere reports that the governor was speaking after he assented to 3 bills passed by the Rivers State House of Assembly.
The 3 bills signed into law are the Rivers State Healthcare Facilities Registration Law Number 6 of 2019, the Rivers State Environmental Protection and Management Law Number 7 of 2019, and the Rivers State Street Trading, Illegal Markets and Motor Parks Prohibition Law Number 8 of 2019. The laws are intended to prohibit street trading, illegal markets and motor parks. The environmental law provides for the protection and management of the state environment, including regulation, prevention, control, remediation of environmental degradation, and other connected matters. While the Health Facilities Law repealed the Hospital Law Cap 65 Law of Rivers State of Nigeria 1999.
The purpose and objective, ensuring that the people live a life that has quality.
Why we have not done the implementation? Because there's no law backing it up. Now that there's law, we can back and we can bite. Go to Water Junction, even under the flyovers, taking over my market.
He assured that his administration is taking proactive steps to ensure Port Harcourt returns to its former status. In Port Harcourt, Ogedi Inyekwere, NTA News.
Following last Friday's Galadima flood incident, an immediate precautionary measures have been taken by the authorities in the FCT with the opening of the blocked waterways of the bypass road. Hakimat Aliyu visited some flood-prone areas after the heavy downpour for a situation report.
This is the flood scene where a life was lost last Friday, and after the heavy downpour Monday morning, this is the exact situation. The bypass road where the incident occurred has been barricaded for now.
That is temporary. It's going to reopen when it is fully assessed that it is safe for motorists to pass through. And we are also, we have taken also so many measures of desilting the drainages.
Interestingly, the Galadimawa flood has persisted, and it has turned a sort of tourist site for passerbys who stop to watch or take pictures.
If you pass here, you don't know the time when the water will take come meet you for the middle of the road. Because that day when we come like this, we tell that man, say stop, because now here we dey walk. As we dey walk for here, anytime when the water they come, we dey see how the water they take you. Some people see the pass because they don't cover the road all for here. Some people will come pick the thing, come out from then pick the thing, keep for one side.
To forestall the occurrence of this disaster, some drainages and waterways have been cleared. This is evident in Area 1 section of Abuja, which is to be flooded when it rains, but no longer so. Hakimat Aliyu, NTA News.
Now, as one of the federal government's strategies to reduce smuggling and increase its revenue generation, the Nigerian Customs Service, Oyo Osun Area Command, has inaugurated a new edifice in Kishi, Irekpo, local government area of Oyo State. Correspondent Adebola Ogunlano reports.
In order to facilitate the legitimate movement of people and goods across Nigerian border and meet up with the federal government's targets, the Nigeria Customs Service, or Oyo Osun Command, inaugurated a new office for effective and efficient discharge of their duties within the communities at border areas. Comptroller or Oyo Osun Command, Controller Abdullahi Agungu, seeks for support from the host community in reducing smuggling and increase revenue so as to improve the economy of the country.
If there's a big town like Kishi that is almost close to the border areas and customs doesn't know how those people operate with all these unapproved routes, then we feel we are not doing our job or we have not reached where we want to reach. But with the present situation, we know we'll be able to monitor whatever goes to these 3 places.
The Kishi monarch, Oba Moshood, were that promised to cooperate with the agency and the government to attain their goals. In Ibadan, Adebola Ogunlano, NTA News.
Time now for another break. Nationwide continues shortly, so don't go away.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
Good to have you there. Let's now join Felicia Dalop-Samaila for reports from our Jos Network Center. Hello, Felicia.
Hello, Ruth. Welcome to Jos. The need for peaceful coexistence, tolerance for each other, and curtailing violent behavior, especially in the northeastern Nigeria, were intensively deliberated at the closing of 2 weeks course 1137 of the Civilian Joint Task Force held at the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center, Sherry Hills, Jos. Zenred Moon has details.
Sponsored by the United Nations Development Programme, the 2 weeks training course themed Exposing Civilian JTF to Leadership Techniques for Conflict Resolution and Peaceful Coexistence is an avenue to assist participants build capabilities of team spirit, timeliness, hard work, and relentlessness in their service to humanity.
Each and every one of us can start the process of change. And with consistency and persistency, we are going to effect or achieve that change.
The 123 participants from Borno State have been adequately trained in the areas of camped craft, initiative test, team building, compound orienteering exercise, endurance trek, and the likes, which facilitators believe will help them in their quest to combat terrorism.
From the beginning of the course to now, everything went on successfully and smoothly. The participants, they were wonderful. They are always on time. They do their duties on time, never quarreling, never arguing.
I have no iota of doubt in my mind that this set of graduates will excel in their fight against terrorism.
The event also featured presentation of certificates and badges to the participants and a playlet depicting the activities of the UNDP and how the organization has worked tirelessly to ensure peace and development is achieved in the Northeast. In Jos, Zenred Dingmun, NTA News.
Key players across various sectors have been charged to eliminate all forms of stigma associated with breastfeeding and ensure its effectiveness for proper growth and development of the child. This was at the 2019 Breastfeeding Week at the Jos University Teaching Hospital, JUTH. Comfort Bianteng tells us more.
This year's theme for the Breastfeeding Week, Empower Parents to Enable Breastfeeding Now and for the Future, is aimed at equipping couples, families, policymakers, employers, and the society on their roles to ensure that the baby is properly breastfed and attains optimal brain development.
You want to turn out a product that is well developed, that will grow well, that will have all its potentials. That's what you want to do. You don't want to turn out a child that is half-baked. When you are not giving your child what the child needs, you are depriving that child.
Mothers present at the event were taught proper posture, methods of breastfeeding, and encouraged to adhere to World Health Organization standard of 6 months exclusive breastfeeding and the recommended 0 to 2 years total breastfeeding.
And so immediately we give birth to a child, we say, yes, between 30 minutes to 1 hour, we want this child to start breastfeeding. Yes, to be able to start developing or get the immunity of the mother to start working for the baby.
If you need to breastfeed well, you need to drink water adequately.
Goodwill messages came from representatives of the Chief Medical Director of JUICE and the CMAC. Gifts were presented to fathers who passed the practical exercise game and also to healthy-looking babies. In Jos, Comfort Biangten, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Jos. Ruth, it's back to you for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Felicia. And from Jos, we go to Uyo, where the federal government has been lauded for partnering with the World Bank in the social, economic and development of rural areas in Akwa Ibom State. This commendation was made public at a capacity building program aimed at developing the skills of those to implement the various rural development programs in the state. Kelvin Samuel reports.
To sustain the federal government effort in ensuring accessibility of social amenities in rural communities through partnership with the World Bank, the Akwa Ibom State Agency for Community and Social Development organized a 2-day training where participants sharpened their skills ahead of implementation of projects cited in their various communities. The General Manager, CSDP, Mr. Ishmael Akpan, appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari and the Akwa Ibom State Governor, who, according to him, are the brains behind all the successes recorded by the agency. He charged participants for transparency and accountability.
This project is time-bound, so they have to go with speed so that they will be able to finish their micro-projects.
Participants expressed the hope that the project, when implemented, will be beneficial.
Pipeline water is in place will give us a very long way to solving all this problem.
We are going to extend electricity everywhere.
Only those who have been there knows how the topography of the land is and the condition of our own livelihood.
Projects already completed in some communities include open market shops, town halls, water and electricity installations. Checks were presented to all the 10 benefiting communities for the commencement of projects. So far, a total of 136 communities have been linked to the World Bank assisted community development projects across Akwa Ibom State. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has been commended for the approval of 5 billion naira for the takeoff of the University of Medical Sciences sited in Otokpo local government area of Benue State. The Deputy Governor, Benson Abonu, stated this when he received the national executives of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities at the Government House, Makurdi. Correspondent Bem Hanya reports.
Governor Samuel Otom, represented by the State Deputy Governor Benson Abonu, said the state government has made available the General Hospital Tukpo for the takeoff of the University Teaching Hospital and commended the federal government for the approval of 5 billion naira as takeoff grant.
We got a letter last week which signified that President Buhari has now approved and that 5 billion naira has been approved also.
National President of SANU, Samson Chijioke Ugoke, commended the Benue State government for its labor-friendly disposition and urged it to pay the earned allowances of staff of the Benue State University, Makurdi. The University of Medical Sciences, which was approved by the Jonathan administration, was later put on hold until recently. In Makurdi, Bem Hanya, NTA News.
And from Makurdi, we go to Borno State, where the federal government has constructed 20 units of 2-bedroom flats at University of Maiduguri. These and other reports from our Maiduguri Zonal Center with Naomi Abwako, who is standing by. Hello, Naomi.
Ruth, and welcome to Maiduguri. Borno State government is constructing 20 units of 2-bedroom flats at the University of Maiduguri as part of continued intervention in the institution to create conducive working environment. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum performed the groundbreaking ceremony with a commitment of continued support to the citadel of learning. Yagum Subukar completes the report.
The ongoing construction of 20 units of houses is part of the series of interventions by the Borno State government in the university, especially in the areas of housing and water supply. Professor Babagana Umara directed the Ministry of Works to ensure quality work, build perimeter fence, and drew a borehole within the estate.
The university is my own community, and therefore they should immediately liaise with the Works Department of the university to see how the state government will support the university in terms of having potable water supply in the university.
Representative of the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Mohammed Mukaila, appreciated the state government for the continued support to the institution and further appealed for intervention in rehabilitation of the dilapidated internal road network. Governor Babagana Umaro also inspected construction of road network in the Borno State University, where he expressed satisfaction with the phase of work and further stressed that the September deadline for commencement of academic activities is sacrosanct, with a directive to contractors handling various projects to ensure timely completion. The governor also performed the foundation laying stone for construction of male vocational training center along Muna Garage to train youths in 14 different trades, including automobile, electrical installation, and carpentry, among others. Governor Babagana Umaro said the center will be replicated in all the 27 local government areas in addition to strengthening the existing ones, adding that the training centers will not only train and empower youths to be self-reliant, but also be made useful to the society. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
Borno State government has again called on the forcefully conscripted members of the Boko Haram insurgents to take advantage of the Safe Corridor initiative of the federal government. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum made the call when he paid a sympathy visit to Jakana village in Konduga local government following attack on the community. Abubakar Muhammad Musa reports.
Situated 42 kilometers away from Maiduguri, the state capital, Jakana village has had its fair share of terror attacks in the decade-long insurgency in the northeast. Although no life was lost in the incident, 2 persons were allegedly abducted and some shops were reportedly looted in the course of the attack. Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umara, who sympathized with the residents over the attack, further appealed to them not to relocate to the state capital and other places, assuring the residents that military personnel will continue to remain in the village, while police will also be deployed to the community to complement the military.
To their sons and daughters that are involved in this process to desist from collaborating with the insurgents.
The governor equally appreciated the efforts of the federal government and military for securing lives and property and urged the residents to cooperate with the security operatives. Member representing Konduga at the State Assembly, Bulama Yejua, and an elder of the community briefed the governor on the incident, saying 1/3 of the residents have already relocated to other places. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Muhammad Musa, NTA News.
That's a contribution from Maiduguri. It's back to Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you, Naomi. Now, the situation in some critical sectors and the clamor for good governance and better dividends of democracy, you could say that the ministers designate have a lot to actualize in the next 4 years of President Muhammadu Buhari's next-level government. Nigerians expect a turnaround in the areas of security, power, education, health, and other critical sectors. Guests on NTA's flagship program, Good Morning Nigeria, harped on the need for the incoming ministers to set their priorities right for economic growth and national development. Abdulkarim Mohammed Zurmi reports.
This critical period where the government is doing its best to salvage, restore peace and drive development, guests on Good Morning Nigeria underscored the need for incoming ministers to focus on nation building and ensure that Nigerians get a better deal.
These ministers should be made to realize that their various contributions, their various activities and actions will contribute immensely towards, of course, tackling the national security challenges that we have in the country.
They are there to help all Nigerians, not their own political associates and not to do anything that at least will increase more insecurity or more unemployment.
They spoke against the bow and go method applied to newly appointed ministers instead of allowing them to prove their worth and competence to Nigerians.
Because then we do not even get a chance as citizens to know what the fundamental issues are, and then also lose the opportunity to invite commentary and contribution by well-meaning Nigerians, because the whole estate of this nation belongs to all of us.
The first right is that of the country as a nation, so we need to understand that the most important thing is for us to secure and ensure justice for Nigeria, as a country.
The time is now for the present administration, and guests voiced the need to stabilize the nation and leave a lasting legacy that will be remembered in the years to come. In Abuja, Abdul Karim Mohammed Zermi, NTA News.
Sequel to the prompt interventions of the 2018 floods disaster by the National Emergency Management Agency, the United States Department of Agriculture has extended training to response units of the national and state emergency management agencies across the country. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports that the training is to further consolidate on the gains of the 2018 flood response.
The 2018 floods disaster may have ravaged about 34 states, with 9 states under a state of a national disaster. But the prompt intervention by NEMA is said to have reduced the number of casualties by more than 40% compared to that of 2012 disaster. These achievements were recorded due to the high level of training and retraining of NEMA staff on response and intervention. The training is geared towards enriching the response units of the two agencies to make them proactive in responding to disaster-related matters.
With this knowledge, I can be able to impact a lot, and so many lives are going to be safe. The training is really very rich.
Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, Mustafa Mehadja, promised to make the 2019 flood intervention more proactive.
We have really benefited from this training in 2018 flood. We didn't envisage we will have such kind of devastating flood situation, but the moment it happened, it came to the thought of the management to deploy those trained, and they performed wonderfully on site.
It's a baseline or foundation training, teaching students the principles and the basic organization of the incident command system and how it works on disasters.
A simulation exercise on the intervention was displayed in readiness for any eventuality. In Abuja, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
And now to security. The Commandant Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna, Major General Adeni Oyebade, has reassured Nigerians that the military is up to the task of ending banditry and other criminalities across the country, as directed by President Muhammadu Buhari. The Commandant gave the assurance at a Camp Highland Battle inoculation for the Nigerian Defense Academy cadets held at the Nigerian Army Training Center, Kontagora, Niger State. Mukhtar Abubakar Wowo reports.
It is not a war, but training exercises of the military cadets to expose them to the conventional warfare in different terrain so as to be able to confront the contemporary security challenges in the country. The 631 cadets, 46 female inclusive, completed their training at the Nigerian Army Training Area, Kontagora. The training marks the end of all the training exercises of the cadets who are expected to be commissioned in October this year. The Commander, Nigerian Defense Academy, Major General Adeni Oyebade, while commending President Muhammadu Buhari for his support to the NDA, assured Nigerians that the cadets have been adequately trained to be able to carry out tactical operations after commission.
We have introduced counter-insurgency training, counter-terrorism training, anti-banditry, anti-kidnapping, and search and rescue, and all the likes. including, of course, the conventional training.
Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello says it has become necessary to partner the armed forces to secure forests across the state.
State government will partner with any service that wants to conduct extensive military exercises in Niger State.
The guests of honor and some other civilians were put to test in a novelty shooting to understand what the military goes through during warfare.
The event marked the end of the 2 weeks training engagement of the cadets at the Nigerian Army Training Area, Kontagora. Mukhtar Abubakar, NTA News.
Absence of effective parliamentary committees and frequent interruptions by non-democratic forces to carry out in-depth analyses on critical legislative issues are major causes of setback to democracy in Africa. This was the position of speakers at a training program for committee clerks of the Gambian Parliament by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
Not even the rain that came in torrents on Monday morning in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, could stop landing Job, director committees of the Gambian Parliament, from justifying the reason for his being in Nigeria as a leader of the Gambian parliamentary staff. They are here to learn about the Nigeria's bicameral legislature in comparison with their country's unicameral system.
The population is here is bigger than ours, so we hope that we may learn new things that we don't have at our end.
I will take the advantage with my colleagues to learn more from this.
We feel comfortable if we come here for training. The technical session of the forum focused on standing orders and other operations of the Nigeria's legislature.
I keep saying that the unseen lawmakers are the background to do the work.
With what we will receive today, we'll be able to share ideas and then use that to build our various committees and our various legislatures.
Africa countries need to synergize. We need to cooperate to nurture the legislature in Africa.
The training program underscores the importance of the study visit that will lead participants to a better understanding of effective strategies to improve performance of the committees in the two countries. In Abuja, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
And on to sports, the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports charges athletes to the forthcoming African Games in Morocco to be good ambassadors of Nigeria at the Games. Olumide Eguntola was at the National Stadium, Lagos, where the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Olushade Adeshola, met with athletes in Lagos.
Ahead of the 2019 All-African Games in Rabat, Morocco, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Olushade Adeshola, has visited the athletes at the Lagos camp to inspire and motivate them to win laurels for the country.
We have also endeavored to acquaint them with the arrangement for the preparation so that they are not left in the lull as to what the ministry is really doing.
The Nigerian women basketball team, the Tigress, are set to depart the country on Wednesday for Senegal to defend the AfroBasket title, which they won in 2017. The Nigerian girls, who have been putting finishing